So, finally, I got a dislike. Ah, ah, ah. Hey, it's the Mystery Man on the Mystery Man channel. Finally, I got a dislike on one of my videos. I'm surprised it took so long. I really am. I'm surprised it took so long. And it was on the Black Lives Matter question mark. Must have been somebody from the Black Lives Matter movement. I tell you, these people, they really get to me because you got preachers preaching kill white people because of the Black Lives Matter movement. All lives are precious, people. Let's just move on. But anyways, we're gonna hop into the topic today. The topic today is gun control. Again, another stupid concept. The Second Amendment gives us the right to bear arms, and that was given to us by our forefathers. Now, if you take the guns out of law-abiding citizens' hands, you are weakening them to become prey. People that could have stopped the violence before it started are now the prey. Having gun-free zones only makes it even worse. It makes it even worse. Like in California, they're putting red lights on their porches to announce that this is a gun-free home. That's an invite to anybody with a gun that has a crooked mind saying, okay, they ain't got a gun? Easy pickings here. Let's just go kill them, take all their shit, and get out of there. This is stupid. For real, come on now. Think about it. Basically, what you're doing is taking the antlers off a deer and telling a bobcat that because the antlers are gone, that since the prey isn't much challenge anymore, that they'll leave it alone? No, that ain't ever going to happen. That bobcat's going to take that deer down easier than anything. All you're doing is weakening us. I remember a quote. I don't remember who it was, but I wasn't sure if it was China or Japan. But one of their leaders said, "I will not attack America because there's a gun in every home." You're opening us up to attack from other countries, especially countries we aren't even really friends with. The only countries that we're supposedly friends with is England, and we beat their ass back in the American Revolution. Then you got, let's say, you got all kinds of things going on with this. None of this is ever scripted. It's raw. It's coming straight from my head. Now, nobody in the Middle East is our friend. They're only friends with us right now because we keep buying oil from them. The day we stop buying oil from them is the day they're not our friend anymore. I don't give a flying fuck about the Middle East. They're not our friend. Mexico is not our friend. China is not our friend. The only reason why we keep outsourcing our American jobs to them to have them make little pencils or piece of shit sunglasses is so we don't have to do it. If you brought all those jobs back here to America, I guarantee you in an instant it'll go down. But that's another topic. Sticking on guns. Gun control. What is it really? I think gun control is a way to manipulate us. Because if we can't fight back, we become enslaved. We are slaves to the government. Let's all bow down and worship our leaders. Hell no. There's only one person I worship, the Almighty, God, Jesus. That's who I worship. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything against any other religion. That's going to be on another video. Freedom of religion. But we'll get there. Gun control. Regulating how much ammo a person can buy in a day. Regulating how much ammo a person can stockpile. It's all bullshit. There's people in the National Guard that aren't actually in the National Guard. That's every man who owns a gun and stockpiles it in his home. There's men with hundreds of guns, thousands of rounds of ammunition, sitting in their basement, waiting for the world to go to shit so they can protect themselves. Because with the state America's in right now, this world's going to end up going to shit quicker than we can twist our head around and say, I shit myself. We've all had that moment where we accidentally sharted. You know how embarrassing it was? Now imagine how embarrassing it will be, when another country invades ours because there are no guns in our homes anymore. Imagine what the government can do to you when you can't defend yourself. These guys are putting the dependence in the wrong people. You should be depending on yourself to fight for your own self, your own rights, your own responsibilities, and stop depending on the government to take care of it for you, because they're not. They're using the weakness against you, turning it into a useful, what's the word I'm looking for? Opportunity to seize control. Not every government official is that way. Just a liberal government, because they're a bunch of dirty frickin' rats. Those guys that are liberals out in your home watching this right now, you're probably thinking I'm fucking nuts. I don't blame you. Anybody who's been a social robot for the last 30-something years is gonna be. Unplug and wake up. Look what's going on around you. Guns are being taken out of our homes. When Hillary Clinton gets into office, she's going after the Second Amendment and taking our rights away from us. She blatantly said that she's going after the Second Amendment and she's going after the NRA. And her daughter backs her. The whole Clinton family is a bunch of political fuck-ups. Gun control is the worst thing to hit America. Taking our guns away from us because other countries don't. Well, those other countries' people can't fight for themselves now, can they? So they stay a silent majority, because if they speak out, guess what? Boom! Bye. Princess Diana. I don't think that was just an accident. I think that was planned. She was a good Samaritan. But they couldn't have that now, could they? Giving all this good stuff to good people, taking care of, on the less fortunate and so on. That's not how a ruler is supposed to look like, am I right? A ruler is supposed to look like somebody who beats you down with a lead pipe, tells you that no matter what you do, you're nothing but a piece of shit and you'll never be any better than what you are. Well, that's exactly what this government is doing to us right now. Do you know that there is actually, and you can look this up. I'm not going to take you to it. You got to do the work yourself. And if you're not willing to do the work, then you're just a lame ass sorry piece of shit. But look it up. They have re-education camps set up. They have manuals, documents, and paperwork proving this. America, Russia did it. Why? Because Russia's a communist country, and these fucking liberals are trying to do the same to us. What happens when they take the guns out of our homes? Guess what's going to happen then? Everybody that's like me, that actually gives a fuck about this country, is going to be sent to one of these camps for re-education. A simple way of saying, we're going to torture you till you believe what we tell you to believe. The Republican Party and Conservative Party is now the Jews of the 21st century. We are being weakened by our government so the government can take us over even more than they already have. They take half of our goddamn paychecks every day anyhow. What more do they want from us? Well, I'll tell you, they want our freedoms, our rights. And one of those rights is the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is the only thing standing in the way of any of this right now. Because it's the only amendment that's most powerful over the government. They want to make it harder to get a gun. I get that. But criminals don't think this way. They don't think about if you make it harder for them to get a gun by going to a Dick's Sporting Goods or Gabriel, or not Gabriel's, freaking Gander Mountain, which is a place here. I don't know if it's all over the U.S. Dunham's is a place here. Walmart. They're making it harder for us to get a gun. Now, I understand why they're trying to make it harder. They're trying to weed it out so people that shouldn't have a gun can't just go and buy one. And that's a good thing. Don't get me wrong. Okay? But criminals don't care about that. They don't get guns by the means we go legally. They're criminals. They break the law to get their guns. And you know how they do that? They break into gun shops to get a gun. They take guns with them to home invasions of people who do have guns, beat them, kill them, and then take their gun. They can also get them through the Mexican cartel, you stupid assholes. And I'm not talking to everybody, I'm talking to the government. Think about how they're actually getting the guns and do something and enforce laws to do that. Trump's the only one trying to do that by building the wall. The wall is not to keep anybody out of America. It's meant to have the people that are good and honest and decent come through the legal way, and everybody who's trying to bring drugs, guns, prostitution, anything over our borders, harder for them to do it. Here where I live, there's a house full of at least 15 to 20 Mexicans. And if you tell me a single one of them is legal, you are fucking kidding me. They work for a local contractor here, okay, doing landscaping. Well, a buddy of mine has his own truck, it can't even get work. Why? Because he can't afford to keep anybody. The only reason why this contractor is doing any good is because, one, he's hiring illegal immigrants. Two, he doesn't have to pay them that much because our money translates to super rich down there for what we work for pennies a day, trying to beat the shit out of a dead goat to make money for our families, which is hard enough as it is. They pay them even less, but down in Mexico, they're freaking millionaires. That's an overstatement, but you get my point. An over exaggeration, sorry. And they're bringing guns into this country illegally, selling them to our criminals in the society, and we're left with the carnage. And then you got people like ISIS coming into this country and committing crimes, and the government doesn't want to admit it's them, so they just use it as political propaganda to get their gun laws to pass. These are terrorists, and terrorists need to be dealt with deadly force. That's the only way to get rid of a terrorist. You can't sit there and negotiate with a terrorist because he don't give a shit about what you think. None of them do. All they know is kill Americans. And when I say Americans, I don't mean white people. When I say Americans, I mean every damn legal citizen that lives in this country. Giving them the right to do that and letting them get away with it. Every shooting that's gone on except for school shootings, because those can be a 50-50. Could be a disgruntled kid who got picked on too much. And mommy and daddy don't lock their guns up appropriately, and shit happens. By the way, practice proper gun safety. If you don't have a gun safe, get one, especially if you have children. And I'm not talking about those little ones that you put in your closet and hope nobody can carry out of your house. It's portable. No, I'm talking about those big hulking things with a freaking big ass lock on it and this big ass crank that you got to crank around. It's the only way you're going to protect them. Basically, all the government's doing is trying to weaken us so that we can't fight back if need be. I hope to God it would never have to come to that. But I guarantee you somebody somewhere is thinking the same exact thoughts. And unlike me, is actually planning a war against America itself. But they're going to blame that guy because he didn't want to give up his guns. He shouldn't have to. It's in our Constitution that we have a right to own guns as long as we're a law-abiding citizen. Basically, what they're trying to do is start another civil war. And if they're trying to start a civil war, they're going to get it. Somebody's going to rise up. It's not going to be me, but there's definitely going to be somebody that's going to rise up, and this is going to end up being a civil war over gun control. So I'm speaking to every American out there. Don't vote for Hillary. Because if you vote for Hillary, or any other liberal for that matter, you're basically asking for us to go into a civil war because somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to pull the trigger. I'm begging you, America. Don't give in to political terrorism. Protect your home. Protect your family. And if you're a felon and you can't own a gun, get a crossbow. Get something that isn't a gun, but you can still defend your home with. Because the way this country's going right now, we're about to end up in another civil war. And I'm not doing this to antagonize anybody into going in a war. And I'm going to put my disclaimer right here. Any violent act that you take on upon another human being is your responsibility. I'm not here to tell you to go out and shoot anybody. I'm here to get you to wake up and understand what's going on. I am not responsible for anybody's actions. I'm only responsible for my own. My actions is informing the country, every U.S. citizen, every American on what's really happening in our world today. Not to incite riots, not to start wars with our own country and our own people. So please, America, vote responsibly. I'm the Mystery Man, and thank you for watching. Please, if you like this video, hit the big like button down there, give me a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. Till next time.